Hi, everybody. Welcome to TIA Now. I'm Clarence Reynolds. We are standing on the edge of the future when it comes to the power of virtual networks. Realizing that power has been a waiting game. Telefonica's Patrick Lopez is the VP of Networks Innovation, and Antonio Elizondo is Head of Network Virtualization and Strategy at Telefonica. And they both join us with a status update on NFV. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Clarence.
Antonio, I want to start with you. Why is it taking so long for industry-wide adoption of NFV?
Take into account that really any technology that really changes the status normally takes even more than a decade to mature. Network virtualization is not only a technology change, it's also a paradigm change, because we are discovering, the service providers, that we need to change the way we work. Okay, so standardization bodies are working on defining the standards. They are quite advanced, but they are not fully closed. Okay, but even though we have started the deployments of virtualization in production 2 years ago. Okay, now we have, let's say, in Telefonica, a more complete network virtualization program that is called Unica, and this came into life last year with deployments in 4 markets, and this year we are deploying also in 7 other markets. So I will say that it's taking a lot because the expectations were high, but really we are currently seeing the first results.
I think it's really quite fast. I mean, if you think about it, at the scale, we're a multinational operator, and at the scale at which we operate, deploying what is probably one of the most ambitious virtualization effort in the industry, which is basically creating an end-to-end virtualization layer for our core networks and deploying that commercially within 4 years, in four properties, and then 7 more properties next year. I think it's actually, at the scale of our industry, it's pretty fast.
Some people are saying that 5G deployment is really going to speed things up, but what is 5G's role in MEC and vice versa? What is MEC's role in 5G?
So MEC is multi-access edge computing, and basically it's a new layer of network. So if you're thinking that your networks are basically composed of the core and the radio access, and now that we have cloud networks, MEC is providing the ability to provide that cloud much closer to the user. And I think that when it comes to 5G, MEC and 5G are quite different in the sense that you can already do some edge computing deployment now without having any 5G capabilities, but certainly edge will be an important part of 5G. I don't know what you think.
No, it's exactly that. 5G basically is leveraging in let's say, network virtualization technologies, okay, also in new radio technologies, but one of the, let's say, key pillars of 5G is precisely this network virtualization.
So it's bringing the cloud at the next level, bringing the cloud closer to the customer, 4 milliseconds away from the customer.
What kind of changes do you see in the traditional network planning and capacity management processes because of NFV?
Well, there are many changes. I think, so this year, and actually at Mobile World Congress, just 2 days ago, we announced a new project that is called Internet para Todos, which is an effort to connect the population in Latin America. More than 100 million people are not connected in Latin America. And what's surprising probably for many people is that becomes possible thanks to technologies such as virtualization, such as software-defined networking. Why? Because virtualization allows to separate basically hardware from software, and to separate data plane from user plane, and to centralize all the user plane, which allows you to have a single point to manage your network, a single point to provision your features and your functionalities, and to create services, and that turns into really great savings operationally. I think the next step is probably automation, right?
Yeah. I would say that without automation, we are not changing anything. This is part, no, of the paradigm change, and this single opportunity for us, no, because take into account that a company like Telefonica grew in a very inorganic way. So as a result of that, we have inherited network technologies and systems that are very different, no, on every different market. So with virtualization, we have a single opportunity to grow in the same way, in a very heterogeneous way, deploying the same infrastructure, and defining by software, as Patrick has explained very well, all the network functionality that we need. Deciding in real time whether we need to centralize things, whether we need to distribute them. Okay, and the key thing, as Patrick has mentioned, is how to automate all the life cycle. It's not only creating the network at the first time; it's also keeping it alive. Okay, so automating the whole life cycle of the fulfillment and assurance part of the network.
We're sort of in a transitional stage right now. So how are carriers dealing with juggling customer experience and expectations during these network transformations?
It's a very industry-centric to think that customers care about 4G, about 5G, about virtualization, about edge computing. I mean, they want things to work, for sure. They don't want to have to think about technology when, you know, they start a video, when they access their social media. So, I mean, for us, it's a success if that transition, that technological transition, brings added benefit to our customers. If they discover new services, if networks behave better, and if we have the ability to delight them, really. But I mean, the technological aspect, I mean, is for us network geeks, really. But I think also that, you know, we're going to see more and more services that might become personalized, in the sense that our industry has grown in creating 4 services very well: voice, data, messaging, and video. But they're essentially the same services for everybody. But technologies such as 5G and virtualization allow you to do things such as network slicing, and we have a demo right on our booth, and that allow you to create basically experiences that are very personalized. And I think that's what users actually are going to react to the most when they understand what 5G can do for them.
Basically, we're in transition. They are still using
Absolutely.
their devices.
No, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Yes.
Well, Antonio and Patrick, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your insights.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.